Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So we have got some global info here for us. So I seriously tweeted out this GIF of Android 17 and Android 18 from the Turn of Power. If you guys are not aware, I seriously was able to essentially see the global news a few days early. So this is going to show up in the global news within the next couple of days right here, right? I believe typically the upcoming DOKKANFEST slot, I believe, is usually like the first. So it looks like it is probably about a week away, I would guess. Yeah, the Turn Up Power Android 17 and 18 will be dropping on Global Dokkan. Now, like a year ago, or typically, this would be one of those times where I'd say, like, you know, if you guys are playing Global Dokkan, you know what to expect, right? Like, you know, anniversary and Global's months behind. Like, it's, you know, we've been doing this song and dance since the game started. However, this year, we do get to say that the Global Sync is coming. Now, when is it coming? I don't know. How is it coming? I don't know. But it is coming. That is a fact. So eventually, we're going to get to a point where stuff like this does not happen anymore, which I think is going to be the best timeline. I personally don't think any minor discounts or global force, like none of that shit really matters when it comes to, okay, we get this right here, and then JP is getting Carnival Blue Gogeta and Dragon Ball Super Broly and Beast Gohan in 2 weeks. Like, it's just not, like, it's not, it just creates, like, the community is not able to have as much fun as they should with, you know, what looks, I mean, 9th anniversary is tracking to be the best celebration in Dokkan history. Obviously, we're only in the countdown still, so we're quite a ways away, but, you know, it's would be better if everyone had the celebration at the same time. You guys know what I'm saying. So again, 17 and 18 are coming. If we take a look, so this is the October stuff that JP got back in October. I would assume most of the things we're seeing here would be coming to Global as well, including the next phase of Broly and Trunks, I would imagine. For JP, it was what, like every 2 months they were dropping a Broly and Trunks. I do kind of think they will cut that down to probably every month for Broly and Trunks, but I can't say for sure, right? So on JP, Broly and Trunks SSR was in August, TUR in October, and then December had the LR. Maybe my hope is that Broly and Trunks for Global is going to be SSR January, TUR February, LR at the start of March. That's what I personally would like to see. But I have no way of like even guessing if that's actually going to be true. So there is several free-to-play characters that come out along with 17 and 18. We're going to take a look at the main units, but I mean, just to give you guys a glance, there's a bunch of free-to-play characters. The Dragon Ball story, right? So that gives us the next awakening for this kid Goku, which is cool. There, of course, is the TUR for Broly and Trunks. We get the Jiren EZA along with sub-EZAs. Jiren, you probably could point to Jiren as, like, the single worst character of 2023. Like, dude, 2023 is stacked with, like, okay, like, who's the worst character? Dude, it is stacked with characters you could say that for. Jiren, though, I mean, he really does have to be the worst, I think. Because unlike, you know, like, transforming Vegeta, he can become good when he goes blue. LR Kale and Caulifla, you get some really good luck first couple of turns, and all of a sudden they could stack up a reasonable amount of defense, plus they have a huge amount of dodge. Like, they could become good, right? The problem with Kale and Caulifla is that they have the same weakness as Kale, which is turn 1, which is slot 1, which is, you know, again, it's, yeah. I mean, I don't like them, but they could become good, right? Jiren doesn't become good. Int Goku Black could become good, right, as he stacks defense. Jiren does not become good. He's just terrible. Jiren is, again, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. We'll talk about it in 2 seconds. LR, Ribrianne, Rosie, and Kakunsa, who just flat out are not good enough. We'll talk about them in a couple of seconds. I think Global, so JP had what, 4 consecutive world tournaments where Global didn't have one, but then Global players were whining so loud. Oh my god, we have a world tournament. Bro, we had 4 in a row. Y'all had none. Like, I don't want to hear it, man. It's y'all turn to suffer, dude. But I'd have to imagine, again, like if we're gonna be moving towards this sync, I mean, they don't want to fall behind on world tournaments, fall behind on this type of character, fall behind on that type of character. Like, they got to start pumping shit out. So I would assume, they might pick up the pace of world tournaments a little bit to catch back up, because for some reason they just released 50 in a row on JP and did none on Global. It made no sense. So there's that, and then of course this is Halloween stuff, which Global already got. And then Gohan and Piccolo, that's going to be the start of March stuff for Global Dokkan. So 17 and 18, I'm not super impressed with this character, but this is like the all-time they were dropped like for failure. Like, they were completely thrown into the game with nothing. No help, horrible design, nothing. This character was given no chance whatsoever to be good. Zero chance. Because you essentially are, you're running them on this tournament participants category. This is an Android character running Android Link, Android Link, Android Link. This is not an Android Link. This is not, and I guess this is kind of not, but this doesn't really do much for him. And then Fierce Battle. It's just running an Android and then forcing you to run them next to a Goku, because this character is only good if they're next to a Goku. To get the unit super attack right here, this is their huge strength right there. That is very powerful. But then there's also this right here. Scouter. They get a Scouter with Goku on the rotation. Scouter is good. Now, the Scouter in conjunction with, the EZA UI Goku, who literally dropped on JP, 5 hours ago. Well, 6 hours ago. That's a good combo, because we see where the super attack is. Now we'll put UI Goku in front of it. But remember, Scouter, you need characters to then be able to go in front of the super attack who can handle that. This unit is not only were they given no chance to succeed, because all the Gokus of tournament participants were horrible. I mean, now LRUI Goku is probably a top 10 unit in the game. He probably is. He probably is. But, you would think about this guy right here and you go, oh, dude, we're fine. You have this guy. No, he sucks if you don't have another revive character for him, which this team doesn't have. Again, right now, 9th anniversary, this character, I think maybe they could update his revive condition when he EZAs, or this UI Goku when he EZAs. But, they were dropped on this team that doesn't have really good enough Gokus. Reps Universe 7 was bad. Then they dropped a Ban unit who does nothing, and they dropped an LR who's not good enough. And it's what are we doing here? And the worst EZA of the year. What are we doing here? This is it's just it's a terrible celebration. It's a bunch of characters who suck and do nothing, right? And it's if I look at them from the perspective of JP going into 9th anniversary, the difficult content meta is probably about to change, right? I mean, people got so antsy in the pantsy about AoEs, but AoEs have literally always been here. Every single, they're always been here. It's only now that it's an issue and people are crying about it. But 7th anniversary, Redstone Broly, his AoE super attack was deadly. 6th anniversary, God event, what is it? Moscow? What was the God of Destruction that had an AoE super attack? The very first Dokkan event, the original hardest fight in the game, had an AoE. AoEs have always been here. And we're in this kind of meta of the toughest bosses having AoEs. And this character sucks against any AoE boss. Android 21 sucks against Fusion Zamasu, but she's great against Omega, right? There's other characters. Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito destroys Fusion Zamasu, but he can struggle against Omega. This character sucks against both. They're terrible against both. So what is the point? With a weak team, they don't have the units that they need to help them. This is just such a garbage release. This is, when you get Super Trunks and then Turles and the 17 to 17 and then leading into them, it's Dokkan, what are we doing? The release after release after release is just a literal zero, under zero. They're doing nothing. They provide nothing to the game in any way, except for an extra character to get that will do nothing for you. It's very bizarre. Now, moving into the 9th anniversary, maybe the meta for difficult events will change. They're going to start to get the necessary help that they need. Even just STR UI Goku certainly does help them quite a bit. Kabe is another strong character, the tournament participants unit. The STR hit, the attribute EZA characters, like those characters coming out are good, but this character needs a lot more. But we'll see. Again, they also have one of the worst active skills in the game. Like, it's just comedy. Change Tech Key Sphere to Int Key Sphere. You do that from the 5th turn. Oh, man. They're great. And then, oh, yeah, by the way, they're Rainbow Orb changing 4 turns. Why? No Rainbow Orb Changer should ever have Rainbow Orb Changing tied to their intro. Several characters do, and it's stupid every single time. People will try and defend, these characters, but, they're just trash. Then we get to Rabrana, Zerloin, and who? Zarbuto. So my remembrance of this character, it's just that they just do nothing. It's just, they're just, raw attack and raw defense, and that's pretty much it. So they serve no purpose. Like we get the LTG memes out for this character. They do nothing. It's so stupid. This is such a fun. I love this character and Ribrianne getting summonable character. I do, legitimately. I think because remember on JP this was following Blue Vegito worldwide. So I'm totally cool with now we get LR Ribrianne and the that's fine. It works well. But you can't do this, right? This character should have been STR Krillin. That's what this character should have been. Instead of just raw attack, raw defense, and nothing. Where is the support? Where are the defensive mechanics? I'm sorry, but you're gonna need, as a summonable unit, you need something. And they just don't, you have no reason to run this character ever. There's nothing they do where you say, I need to run them for this fight. There's so many characters where you could think, LR Omega, maybe they drop a mission for Vegito Blue. It's oh, dude, I'm going to Daddy LR Omega against Vegito Blue. He's going to completely lock him down. There's nothing Vegito Blue could do against Omega, right? Where does this character, are we saying that about them? This is a summonable unit, man. It's not acceptable. Then we get to Ribrianne, Rosie, and Kakunsa. They're an LR. They potentially can be strong, but their kit is just a mess, right? This is a character that cannot go in slot 1, yet they do this shit, right? This bothers me so much because they'll activate their intro, right? You're going to change all these orbs to tech key spheres, right? So you're going to get all of these orbs. And then are you going to put them in slot 1 with all these orbs where they're going to get just completely demolished? You're going to create all these orbs just for some other character, like a UI Goku or something like that, to just have to get it because they have to go in slot 1. This is a summonable LR. Keep in mind, Gold Coin LR, Bulma is a top 5 unit in the game. I would argue her as 2. And why can't Ribrianne, Rosie, and Kakunsa be on that level? In my opinion, if you're gonna drop LR Ribrianne, this needed to be the best unit in the game on release. They had to be. Ginyu was popular. Why? Because he was so good. Videl was a really popular release. Why? Because she was so good, right? If you're gonna do these characters, you can't do this. And just the 5,000th character that gets decent defense after they attack, and it's not really too much. Now they do have a saving grace, and that is the incredibly powerful giant form. You could do this if you have a Power Wishes category ally in the turn. With just an HP condition. So you could, use this character in the same fashion that I often use revive characters against the Fusion Zamasu fight, where this unit is in turn 2, and you could do the giant transformation with the Power Wishes ally and stuff like that. But it's okay, let's take a look at Power Wishes, just real fast, real quick. Power Wishes. What we're looking for here, specifically, is tournament participant characters, right? Because essentially, that's kind of the team, we're looking at for them. And what you're going to find right here is you don't really have tournament participant characters here too much. So, I don't know. Besides a really shitty, Zerloin, Ranra, and Zarbuto, who do nothing. So they just didn't. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Maybe they'll be a little bit better on super bosses. Yeah, LR Ribrian super bosses. Because, I mean, at least Broly, Chila, and Lemo, they're going to be on super bosses as well. They're on super bosses, right? Actually, I didn't. Yeah, they better be on super bosses. they better. But they're probably going to EZA during the celebration as well. I would say the chances are very, very high of that. Because all other 5th anniversary, well, LRs have EZA. The banner units, the Bardock and Gine, and the Trunks and Mai. No, Trunks and Mai have, but Bardock and Gine haven't. Yeah, okay. So there's that. Yeah, again, LR Ribrian, I'm not high on them. People will say that they're underrated, and it's just like, I mean, if we want to live in fantasy land, that's true, right? But at a certain point, like, the top characters have to have really good mechanics that you could just jump into a fight. If a character is only good if you get perfect RNG at the start of turn, like, yeah, sorry, you know. And then we get to Jiren, who's just a loser. I mean, unlike Ribrian, you know, you get that giant form. Ribrian can take control of the fight with the giant form. 100%. That is a fact. You get perfect RNG, 17, 18 can also take control of the fight with this, plus their Scouter. That is a fact. I guess, I mean, I guess they have their attack break. I guess. I don't know. Not really them. But Jiren is just literally a loser. He gets, this is so good. I love this. The 30% damage reduction against 2 or more enemies. You have Jiren get supered by any tough boss, right? Go to like a super battle stage or something like that. He gets one-shotted. Like he's just terrible. This guy is gotta be the biggest loser. He does nothing. The value of Jiren would be taking him into a super battle road stage and the stun right here, proccing. That is his only real value. And this hurts super bosses. This hurts tournament participants. You know, one reason like this character starts to look so unimpressive is because they drop them and then unimpressive release, unimpressive release, unimpressive release, and you start stacking all these unimpressive releases together. Again, this is the same problem that's plaguing the super bosses category right now, is all of these unimpressive releases are all on super bosses too, right? In Goku Black, STR Jiren, LR Ribrian, Rose Kakunsa, like these characters just, you know, I think unimpressive is typically a good word, besides him, who's just a loser. And it just adds up, and then all of a sudden you have just a bunch of uninspired kind of like middling options, and you just get your teeth kicked in, is what happens when you go into these fights. So yeah, there we go. This celebration is pretty bad. It's actually pretty it's pretty bad. I mean, we'll talk more about some of these guys and stuff like that, the free-to-play characters, like when the data downloads hit and stuff like that, but for the most part, the celebration is really not very good. And that's why it's kind of like, you know, a bummer, because JP is, you know, going to be getting LR Beast Gohan, and Global's going to be getting LR Ribrian, who's not really that great, and no one should summon for. So it's going to be tough. Let me know what you guys think about DOKKANFEST Android 17 and 18 coming to Global in a couple of days. Again, the good news is that a year ago, I would have been sitting here telling you guys, like, it sucks, but you choose to be on Global. You're choosing to play Global, unfortunately. I know we could say, oh, they should just make it as good and blah, 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 but unfortunately, it is what it, like, life is what, like, it is what it is, unfortunately. But this year, we don't have to say that, because eventually we're moving towards the global sync, thank God. One day soon. It's just, the hype is on both, like, all the stuff is on both versions at the same time. Hopefully, both versions get completely completely fair. Everything is the same on both versions. That's the dream. You can go back to videos from me from 2016, where I was saying that. Catch Global up. 2016 video. Dude, they're up. Go look. Go. I'm grabbing you by your neck. Go effing look. 2016, I've been saying catch Global up. Finally, it's going to be done, and we're going to be in business once that happens. So let me know what you guys think. I love you guys. I do. And I'll catch y'all next time. Bye.